So Andy, in your book, you talk about thinking in 3D. So I like the idea and the concept, but just explain it a little bit more, what that means.
Thinking in 3D is being dramatically and demonstrably different. And what we actually identify, if you look at most businesses, there are a number of levels they can go to. So we talk about -1D is worse than your competitors. And I'll stress it's worse than in the areas that your customers say are important. 0 is the same as good as or as bad as. So management consultants are all as bad as each other, as good as or as bad as. The best businesses, as minimum, are better than, and they're better than the areas that customers say are important. But 1D is just being slightly better than, and by definition, if you start doing things well, there's a fair chance your competitors will start copying. So they'll catch up very, very quickly. So 2D is being dramatically different, and 3 is dramatically and demonstrably. It's doing everything that you can. It's often a mix of things. We talk about a bundle of skills, methods, practices that differentiate your business. But the key things for me is they've got to be things that customers want, that customers recognise, and in an ideal, customers will pay more for, but as a minimum will pay for.
So in your book, it's interesting because you quote Richard Branson, and he's someone, and Virgin as a business, that are recognised as going into marketplaces and disrupting them and doing things differently. And of course, people find that exciting in the main. If you know Virgin are doing something new, you often want to check it out,
Absolutely.
whatever market. But how does, for normal people sitting at home trying to run their business, who are in the day-to-day, you're an accountant, you're a solicitor, you're doing bog standard services, you might be doing them very well.
Yes.
How does someone get into that mindset to start to actually think about how they think differently to deliver something better?
I talk about breaking the rules. And the key thing is sort of saying what's happening in our industry that maybe irritates or annoys clients, but maybe more importantly, we could do differently. So it's the law firm that has a direct line to the partner. You can get straight to him or her, but they've actually got caller ID so that when you ring them, they know it's you. Simple stuff, whereas in a lot of law firms I see, people don't return calls. Or another, the accountancy firm that after the budget, we always get a little brochure from them. It's the same brochure that everybody sends. Well, why not just a few key points saying a bit more effort, but these are the key bits for you, Andy, in your business from this budget. Any concerns, just give me a call. So it's little things that actually, I want to say, break the rules. And I think key for me very often is actually saying, what are the things that irritate or annoy our clients and customers in our industry? How can we do the opposite? And as I say, very often it's little things. So in the large businesses, yes, it's the, Amazon, I would argue, is one of the first ever, dramatically just completely changed the way we did things. Uber, completely changing the whole ethos of how you hire a cab and a taxi. But in most small businesses, I think very often it's actually working on what are the things that we can do that our competitors aren't, or even better, can't do.
Okay, so are you saying that the best place for a business to start, someone's watching this today, would be to start to look at the customers and say, what are the things that we think irritate them? Would you suggest going and speaking to customers about it?
Ask your customers what irritates or annoys you about us and or about our industry. A couple of things for me also is how do we compare to our competitors if they know? Because again, the downside is sometimes if you've got ongoing relationships with customers, they're not comparing with the competitors because they've never used them. What they're comparing them with is your past experiences. So you've got to keep building on those and get better at doing them. But I think sometimes it's about being brave and actually just saying, let's try this and then see what our customers think.
I understand. And one of the things I always say to my customers in some of the seminars that I give is people aren't good enough normally looking at their service or product through their customers' eyes. No. They get very bogged down with what they're doing. Is that in your experience?
Yeah, I talk to people, I say, stand in your own queues, which is about going on your own website, ringing up your own business. Even simple things like listening to your own answer machine. When was the last time you listened to your own out-of-office answer machine or out-of-office email? People have standard things, or even worse, 3 months out of date. And it's just this whole idea of, I say to people, ring up your own business and just see what happens.